Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm going to talk about a few other things that are going on as well. This comes from Eleanor Tourette. My latest for Fox Business. From enforcer to advocate, ex-SEC lawyer talks about lessons learned from crossing the crypto divide. So this lady spent 8 years as a lawyer at the SEC, and when she came over to work for the crypto industry, the one thing she realized is that all people are looking for is clarity and a path forward. But you know, Gary never wanted to give a path forward, because as long as there's no crypto regulation, he could just continue to crack down on crypto every single time. And nothing's going to stop him from doing that. And it all comes down to regulatory clarity. Regulatory clarity will be the first major announcement. This will open the gates to many institutions that are waiting on the sidelines. We could easily see the market cap grow by a few $1 trillion within weeks. Next step will be UN, IMF, Fed throwing their weight behind XRP. You know, whenever you see these old posts, it tells you what's coming. It's so much clearer today than it was back then. You know, back then it took a hell of a lot of vision to see where we are now. Now you see all the Ripple rails. You see how XRP and XLM is coming together. You see where Q&T fits into this and other cryptocurrencies as well. And once regulatory clarity comes, things are going to change very fast. The days of Bitcoin ruling this space will come to an end very quick. Ripple CTO puts an end to XRP usage concerns, and I'm glad David finally did this. He says, for a public ledger to resist spam attacks, you need something scarce to fund a transaction so an attacker can't drown the system with infinite garbage. XRP Ledger only uses XRP for this purpose. Unless rules change, nothing can move on the XRP ledger without XRP. So whenever people try to say, well, this is going to take the place of XRP, or this is going to take the place of XRP, nothing is going to replace XRP. You can't move anything of value on the XRP ledger without using XRP. That's how we get rich. This has all been part of the plan since 1988. Remember this patent? This is where it all started. This is what got us to where we are now. And if you look at the BRICS Pay Wholesale CBDC, you see how Ripple fits in perfectly, where XRP fits in perfectly, because they're going to need liquidity. They're going to need a trust layer. XRP is going to be locked away in this massive liquidity pool that's going to be utilized by BRICS on a daily basis. And that XRP is going to sit there forever. The true story of crypto implementation has been so distorted by mainstream media, it helps to go back to a time when much less focus was on it to get a clearer understanding. Here's Chris Larson in 2016 describing how what he's building fits into the fourth industrial revolution. Take a listen.
How does what you're doing fit into the fourth industrial revolution?
Yeah, it was a very exciting time. So much change going on. And one of those additional changes that I think will be part of this fourth industrial revolution is this notion that we now have this Internet of Value. We now have new technologies, whether you call them blockchain or distributed ledgers or whatever we call them. Bottom line is, this is the beginning of an Internet of Value, where value will be able to move like information, where it will move instantly. And then kind of looking forward, I think you really see this almost futuristic world where, here at Davos, they're talking about Internet of Things. Well, now layer on this Internet of Things, these billions of cars, devices being connected. Now suddenly they're also commerce connected. So things are buying, selling, keeping money. You can imagine the self-driving car that's paying an ambitious coder in Kenya to upgrade its self-driving, systems. It's paying some embedded device in the road here in Davos to use the road, and it's collecting money from consumers or maybe even other things that might want to hitch a ride in that self-driving car. So
it was crazy back then when they were talking about the Internet of Things, because we're also very close to that as well. Just wait until you're driving down the road and the car is making payments along the way. And one car will be paying another car to pass that car, on the freeway, wherever. And that was all part of IOTA's, vision. That's what I always seen for IOTA, plus smart houses and smart cities. But this shows you that you were always invested in what the elites were looking at way back in 2016. And when Chris Larson mentioned the fourth industrial revolution, that's also code for the Great Reset. And that's the part I'm really not a fan of. Aligns with the World Economic Forum Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And you see it here, our technology domains, AI and machine learning, autonomous systems, bioeconomy, climate and agritech, metaverse, digital safety and trustworthy technology, space, quantum, digital inclusion, data economy, and policy. This is all part of the digital age. And we're already halfway through this transition, more than halfway through it. I think 2030 was a time frame that they put on it a long time ago. But I think this time frame changed a lot along the way. Most likely now we're only a year or two away from this. And another revolution is happening as well. The ranks of anti-Fed Republicans grow. So we now have Mike Lee ready to end the Fed. And originally there was not a lot of support for this, but now there's 23 co-sponsors also on board to end the Fed. And I think this was part of the plan all along. That's why we started to see power shift from the Fed towards the Treasury. And I still think Janet Yellen is going to be the one that announces the digital dollar. I think it could even be that new Treasury dollar that's coming. The illusion of prosperity. America's economy is in a free fall. And it's true. Everything we see is an illusion. You turn on the mainstream media news and they're always talking about how the economy is getting stronger, how inflation is all of a sudden coming down. But then you go to the grocery store and you realize that it's all bullshit. They say we're living through a recovery, a soft landing, a supposed economic miracle engineered by the Federal Reserve. But anyone with half a brain and bills to pay knows that this fairy tale is just smoke and mirrors. The real economy is burning, and the government's bogus statistics are nothing more than an elaborate cover-up to keep the masses quiet and Congress asleep at the wheel. We are definitely heading towards a crash, and you could see it coming. Most people are warning of it now. They're saying prepare for what's coming next, but you're already prepared. You're an XRP investor. When this crash happens and everything switches from the current system to the new system, when that new system comes up and running, you are going to be very rich when that happens. Most likely, you could break away from the CBDC system and the universal basic income system. Because whenever they're talking about different rails, parallel rails, I think that's what people that hold crypto will be using if they're holding regulated cryptocurrencies. Anything that falls outside of crypto regulations is going to become irrelevant over time. And anything that falls in those guidelines, they're going to be very expensive cryptocurrencies. People will be rising up as the new 1%. And that's what I've been telling you since one of the very first videos I've ever done on XRP. We are holding what the elites see as the future. We're holding what the elites are invested in. 2023, former SEC lawyer turned stock fraudster pleads guilty in second securities scam. You know, it's nice to see that these SEC employees are convicted of crimes. You know, these are the same people that always said, well, we're fighting for the retail investor. And half the time, they're investing in what we're investing in. The difference is they sell right before they bring litigation against the company. You know, there was most likely a lot of people at the SEC holding XRP once the SEC versus Ripple case started. They probably sold right before that news dropped. Russia publishes new crypto law expanding state control over digital assets. They're also taking control over crypto mining, over Bitcoin mining. Other BRICS countries are doing this as well. And right away, the Bitcoin maxis say, oh, this is great. BRICS is going to start mining Bitcoin. This isn't good, because what happens next is all of the countries, like, you know, the US, the UK, the EU, they're going to put restrictions on Bitcoin going forward. And most likely that's the reason why Russia is now leaning in this direction. I still think Russia, the United States, and everybody else is working together to push us quicker into the new financial system. Because if they're not pushing us towards that, Russia would have never announced the CBDC back in 2022. China would not be talking about CBDCs. They'd be talking about something totally different to combat CBDCs. But when they're going in that direction, it shows you they're accelerating the new financial system. And Japan to send Ukraine $3 billion from frozen Russian assets. So it looks like Japan is on the side of NATO. And this all makes sense because as you see this happening, Russia is going to have an answer to this. And I think it's going to be more acceleration towards the new financial system. Most likely they're going to cut the timeline on their launch of a CBDC. Then you'll see the BRICS also make those same announcements. Then the US will say time is running out. We got to pick up momentum into the digital age. And at the same time, the BIS, the IMF, and everyone else will also accelerate. You see how it's all happening by design. But like I always tell you, you're an XRP investor. As long as you do nothing, and as long as you continue to hold this cryptocurrency, you are going to get rich while this all plays out. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.